On this episode of Super Week in Smart Homes, we're going to talk about Google Max, the Sonos and Ikea partnership, and smart products for your Airbnb or rental. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back at it again, Super Week in Smart Homes. As always, love if you guys would subscribe, leave comments about anything that you want to talk about. I love engaging with you guys. As mentioned before the fold, one of the things we want to talk about today is Google Max. So, what is Google Max? You may be wondering. It's not something that has been talked about a lot, but something that I read about earlier today. So Google's releasing essentially a Google Home, but it's going to have better sound quality, right? A lot of what Apple HomePod's pitch has been to date has been that it's essentially an Amazon Alexa or Google Home with great sound quality, because if you're an audiophile at all, you know that the sound quality on both of those devices is not very good. Google Max just said we can do that too. So again, that leaves me, and I talked about this last week, that I didn't think the sound quality thing that Apple was pitching was that big of a deal. But again, that just shows like, okay, and what, essentially. Again, I think what Apple's pitching with HomePod, I think their big differentiator is that they have EarPods or AirPods, whatever they call them, and HomePod, so they're essentially Siri's going to come with you everywhere, which I think, which Amazon's definitely missing. Google does it with their assistant, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, that world's still evolving, and it's going to continue to evolve. So we will see on that. The other thing that came out this week was Sonos and Ikea doing a partnership. Not much was released in regards to what that means, what those products are, what's going to consist of that. I don't know if they're going to like put in speakers in tables or something. We'll see. I mean, they say nothing's going to happen until 2019, which no matter what they're doing, I think is super slow. Where 2018's here, I think middle of 2018, at least by Q4, they should have. I would think they should have something. This industry is moving too fast to wait till 2019, but maybe they have something amazing that we're all going to go crazy about. So we'll see. That's a wait to see kind of thing. And this is a short episode, guys. The other thing I want to talk about was an article I read. So it was called, I don't remember what it was called, but essentially it was about Airbnb and how to use smart home tech to take your Airbnb to the next level. I've been talking to a pretty large blog about doing an article about smart home products within rentals, so I think this is a good time to kind of mix the two conversations. And so in that, they talk about a lot of the same things that I would talk about. I think if you're going to do a rental or Airbnb, there are a lot of smart home products that can really help take that to the next level and really help you beat the competition. That starts, I think, with something like door locks, right? One of the big things with an Airbnb or an Airbnb especially, right? You're always kind of changing smart door locks, or you're always kind of changing who is accessing your apartment. So being able to give like a temporary code and things of that nature is a really good idea. But even with rentals, I think it's a really good idea because people always get locked out, and that always tends to happen at like 2 a.m. in the morning, or just an inconvenient time for any property manager. So just gives you the ability to say, oh, you're locked out? Cool, you're unlocked. Don't worry about it. Or they may never even get locked out because they will have a code. So just helps take a little bit of the cost and stress off property managers from a rental standpoint, and as well as from an Airbnb standpoint. Number two, are cameras, right? So I think cameras are big. Everybody knows like the normal like IP cameras or analog cameras where you put it around the house for security purposes, but also thinking about things like the Ring doorbell. August has one now. Sky Bell, I believe it's called. HoloVision, etc. Another good option for rentals or Airbnbs. For example, and here's use cases, right? If an Airbnb really makes it easy for you, if somebody rings the doorbell, know who's there. That's going to be your tenant for the week. Okay, now I'm going to use the the August door lock, unlock the door. Go ahead, welcome to my house, right? So that's good. And then from a rental standpoint, just makes the rental a lot safer. If you're renting to let's say college students, their parents want to know that they're safe, or anybody who just cares about their safety, being able to say that we have these cameras that will make sure that nothing happens outside the house. Because I think sometimes it can be creepy putting them in the house, but just gives you a little more of an edge over the competition there. Number 3 would be smart thermostats. So I did another video on the best smart thermostats. You guys can check that out on my page, and I'll try to link it up on here too as well. Not sure if I'm able to do that, but I'll try. But really great for so either option, right? I mean, with Airbnbs, if nobody's in the Airbnb at the time, gives you the ability to kind of regulate that temperature, keep it down, or bring it up if it's the winter time, even though nobody's in there. Make sure you're not freezing pipes or anything like that. And then rentals, it gives you a little more control over how much control, for lack of a better word, that your tenants have, right? You may not want your tenants to be able to put the temperature to 90 degrees, right? You may not want to be able to take it down to 50. You may want to set a limit in what they can do during the winter, right? How low they can take it. Do they have to have some kind of heat so that they're not bursting pipes, etc. So just gives you a lot more control from a month-to-month billing perspective, but also from just managing your pipe, your unit perspective, right? And then the other thing that goes for both is Wi-Fi, strong Wi-Fi. Going to be Airbnbs. I personally will not rent an Airbnb if it doesn't have good Wi-Fi. If it doesn't have Wi-Fi, they don't mention that. I try to look for something else, and if I do go in and they don't have it, probably gonna give you a bad review. Probably not gonna be very happy. And then from a rental perspective, I've been thinking about this a lot. Is if you are a landlord, you have 3 tenants. Let's say it's a 3-family house. If you offered Wi-Fi as a service, right, instead of having each of them do it themselves, you could essentially become the like Verizon to them, right? It's another source of income from what you're getting from your tenants. So just a thought, right? I mean, if you have Wi-Fi throughout the building, it makes it really easy. Just give them their own SSIDs, etc. So just a thought. And then lastly, from an Airbnb perspective, this was in the article, smart media services. So like Apple TV, Sonos, and things like that. Probably wouldn't do that in a rental, but definitely a good thing to think about if you're doing Airbnb. So again, guys, I said this was a short one. That's it. My camera's actually about to die too, so gonna run off of here. Hopefully we don't have to cut to another. All right, guys, camera did die, but wanted to say one last thing. Please, comments, love them. Love engagement. You guys just kind of knowing more about what you want to see. Is this resonating with you? Is this what you want to see from me? Or you can come to our websites right there, digihm.com. It's a little box of me. It'll pop up, say, first time here, or you have any questions, etc. And let's chat. I can talk to you real time there. So I'd love to talk to you guys, and you guys have a good one. Peace.